What is this chart? What are all these colors? We're about to break down the level method here and why we decided to start implementing this at our gym here. The level method is a way for us to assess, address, and progress. What does that mean? So looking along the left side here, this is how we're gonna start assessing our progress or our levels inside of the gym. There's 15 separate categories or components of fitness that the level method breaks down, starting from front squats and going all the way down to aerobic power intervals. And we'll break those categories down one at a time, not in this video, but as we start progressing through. Now, all of these categories are color-coded as far as the levels go, starting from white and progressing all the way up to eventually red, which is really hard. But what's the point of having all these colors, all these different categories of fitness? One thing that CrossFit does really well is make sure that we end up being really well balanced athletes and not over focusing on 1, 2, or 3, or maybe just a handful of different components of fitness. So here we're tackling all the components of fitness that we need to be healthy and move well. Now the color diagram, this is a really cool concept that kind of mimics a concept in CrossFit that we call the sickness-fitness continuum. If we were to imagine kind of just a line graph or a bar going from sickness over to fitness, there's certain markers that we can track, whether this is your blood pressure, your resting heart rate, your heart rate variability, a lot of different things that can measure whether or not our body is a little closer to getting sick or being fit. And the interesting thing is actually, as we progress further and further along this chart here, the closer we are moving to fitness, and the further we're moving ourselves away from the sickness side of the continuum there. Which just means that the further along we move, the healthier our body is going to be. So the really cool thing about this is once we've assessed all of our different levels in each one of these 15 categories, then all of our workouts are actually gonna be programmed to exactly where we are at. So for example, some days if we're hitting our front squat and we are somewhere along the orange column in front squats, we know to follow the orange track. Whereas if our rings is a little further along towards the blue or purple, we know that on a ring-based workout, we should be moving higher up. And some workouts will even combine multiple categories, and we'll also have ways in order for you to mix and match those workouts so that you know exactly where you're at and also where you need to progress onto the next level there. So it's a really cool concept. We're gonna start implementing this over the next couple of weeks, but if you have any questions, please do reach out. We're really excited to putting this in place.